It is time to take another visit to an extra time question from Tuesday's show about a man who's playing in England, Erling Haaland.
Is Erling Haaland already the best striker the Premier League has ever seen?
Come down. Seriously.
Oh my God. Next question.
Come on.
We have a list of 20 players we can compete with, come on.
All right, Frankie, seeing as though you are back with us.
Oh, come on,
Nicol.
come on, folks. We're ripping the backside out of
Strikers
this.
named during Tuesday's extra time, and all on the list there. You can see the games they played, the goals they scored, and the goals per game. And Erling Haaland with 94 goals in 104 games.
Not, as I said yesterday, and I'm not going over it
because game ratio.
There's other people. Sorry for talking over you. I'm not going to really get involved in this today because I had to fix.
Because you tried to explain yourself.
No, I did. I thought I explained myself very well yesterday. There's just some people. There are just some people who are not very bright and can't understand. Yep. I fixed my bayonet and it's done. This is not just who's got the most goals. It's not.
No.
It's not. No. Right? So the people that just go and start...
I have seen many bad analyses. I have seen many bad analyses. What you guys did, the three of you, I do understand that...
That's very simplistic,
Jan. Give it a second, Jan, because I want you to come back and come at them. But first I want to hear... Craig had to explain himself yesterday, because I think he's going to. Frank, you took some heat yesterday, I've got to tell you. How do you defend yourself?
Oh, easily, because I agree with Craig. Yes, scoring goals is one thing from a striker, but it's not the only thing.
Craig.
I mean, you need an environment as well. We saw last season Erling Haaland struggling because he wasn't served. It's not because he was a bad player, it's because he wasn't served. And when he was really served, he scored many goals because he's talented. But it's not only that. But when I talked about Thierry Henry, for example, or some other players, they were able to build their own chances on their own again. And it's why I named, no doubt that Erling Haaland is one of the top of the top. But sorry, to say that is too simplistic. You have to take the whole environment of the squad, the players that they played again with, and maybe the time. Erling Haaland would have been good in the 90s. We don't know that. It would have been different. It was harder. You played against Tony Adams and some others. It's another story comparing to any other defenders that Erling Haaland has to confront. And Jan can say that. He played against those guys. They were more tougher than the others. So it's why I say it's too simplistic to just say, oh, it's just about goal.
It's easier to score. It's easier to score goals now, Jan. Even you would score 40 a season.
Exactly. And I played against Soviet Union and Yugoslavia. I know they're playing regions of those countries, 100% right. But, I mean, Frank you listen, when you speak, you and Craig, you speak like Socrates that said that the youth today is terrible. And that is so 1,000 years ago. And... I mean, how you defined it yesterday. I mean, you have had so many bad analyses, but yesterday you were terrible because you compared a Porsche with a Geländewagen. I mean, you didn't do it. Thierry Henry is another player. So Thierry Henry, to use your point, I think Thierry Henry, excellent, one of the best players I've ever seen.
Right.
I played one of the best.
Right.
But it's nothing to do when we discuss the best number nines, the best goal getters. And the thing what you said yesterday. Can I say something, Frank? And I know you will like that because I knew you had a beef with Alan Shearer. This Alan Shearer record, as everybody's speaking about, I mean, if Erling Haaland is bothered to stay in England for so long, he's going to beat it. Harry Kane said, I don't care. I go to Munich and win some titles. Maybe I come back. And I say that in big respect to Alan Shearer because I played against Alan Shearer and he always scored goals. He scored the best goals. So there's nothing to do with that. Erling Haaland would be good before the First World War, during the Second World War, he would be at the Korea War and the Vietnam War. He will be fantastic in any period.
Yes,
nobody said
that. Nobody said that. Somebody said he wouldn't be.
You said that 20 strikers were better than Erling Haaland. Listen to you.
The defenders, the standard of defending in the Premier League in the last 10 years has... Shut up.
That's just what old people say.
The standard of defending in the Premier League has diminished, right? You also have to take into account that Erling Haaland is playing for a dominant side, a side that up until last year...
Thierry Henry didn't. Oh, sorry. Thierry Henry played for Swindon. Sorry about that.
And Alan Shearer scored goals at Southampton, at Blackburn, who were dominant for a year, and Newcastle, who never won the title. The scenario is different. The scenario is different. And the same for Harry Kane. The same for Harry Kane.
First goal, Erling Haaland played in the Champions League. He scored a hat-trick. He played for Dortmund. He has scored 48 goals in 45 games for Norway.
He would score anyway.
He would score.
Yeah, nobody's saying he's not good. Nobody's saying he's not good.
Oh, 20 strikers better than you.
No.
20.
No, he's Norwegian, and you need to get out the bath here.
Nobody's arguing with you that he's not fantastic. Nobody's arguing with you that he scored 1,000 goals.
That is so easy to say because I'm Norwegian.
The argument, and let's make this really simple. Let me ask you a really simple, straightforward question. Is it harder to score goals back in the 90s than it is today? Yes or no?
You're asking me who played in the 90s. I would say it was unbelievable much easier to score now. But no. But I'm not serious. But I understand what you're saying. But Erling Haaland,
so
as any other player, you on the list.
What it took to score goals over the last decades. So you're seeing the 2020s here, and we're seeing 2.91 goals per game. But you can go back to the 50s and the 60s. And look how many goals were scored back then per game.
Well, that's because...
but they weren't doing defenders at the time.
One second. Take the rest of them out. I know we can't. What did it say about the 90s? The 90s was...
263.
2.63.
Exactly. Is that higher or lower than now?
Higher or lower?
Is it higher or lower? Higher or lower per game?
It's lower.
So forget the 50s, the 60s, 70s, 80s, and we're talking about the 90s and early 2000s.
You can split that into three categories. You start with the 50s, and it was easier to score because teams weren't as professional, weren't as well organised. Then you hit the middle strap.
We don't discuss that.
The middle strap. Teams are way more professional, way better at defending, way more organised. And then you look at the top tier now, the game is so wide open.
That's not what we're discussing.
That's three. That is interesting. Well, listen to the man who was talking about nothing that we were talking about to begin with.
Ask the producer if he can discuss that another night. Let's now discuss who is the best striker. Who is the best striker? That is quite interesting. No, let me finish.
Is the game more open now, yes or no? We are
talking about Frank Leboeuf from Le France said at the start of this discussion, he said that he wouldn't have scored so many goals back in the days. Erling Haaland would have scored goals back in the days. Last season, he had a terrible season. Didn't get one cross, didn't do one counter attack.
He wouldn't score as many goals. The game was not as open as it is. There's not as many opportunities. We are seeing teams... We are seeing centre-halves playing out. We are seeing full-backs invert themselves in the middle of the park. We're seeing games that the pitches are so wide that there is so much space.
But
you know that never happened.
Does it make it unfair because he didn't play then and he wouldn't be able to prove that? Nobody
said it's unfair. Nobody said he's not a good player. Nobody said it's unfair. We're pointing out facts that it is easier to score today than it was in the 90s.
So why isn't everyone what Erling Haaland's doing now? Scoring goals at the rate that he's doing.
So you're falling into his trap.
No, I'm just saying, when you're talking about, like you're saying that he could play in the era that you guys play. He'd probably fit in, right?
Yes.
You have no dispute with that.
No.
But he can only prove himself now in the era that
Nobody's arguing that.
No, I don't know.
If you offered me... Right, here's a question. If you were offered Thierry Henry or Alan Shearer, but Thierry Henry or Erling Haaland in their prime, pomp, who would you take?
But
I'm taking Henry.
Craig,
I'll take Alan Shearer over him.
Let's start again before you guys.
Jan's done a top 10. Jan's done a top 10.
You three Muppets, you feel so confident. Hey, you three Muppets feel so confident because you have the same... So here is my list. Number 1, Jimmy Greaves. He has scored most goals in the top flights of England. And if you see that list,
I'd rather talk about international football.
That is the perfect list. Dixie Dean, Ian Rush, Harry Kane,
get me the San Marino highlight quick.
Sir Geoff Hurst, and Nicol. And when you guys are sitting to say that Erling Haaland would score exactly the same number, he would be top scorer in any decade. And you said yesterday that he wouldn't. There are top 20 strikers that is much better than him. That was your thing. You discussed other things.
Retract that statement.
Let me finish.
I have at no point said there's 20 strikers better than Erling Haaland.
No, that was Leboeuf. But there was 20 strikers better, and I said...
No, I didn't say better. I didn't say better.
I think it's very big of you to accept his apologies.
We can compete in that list. I say the list of players we can compete with Haaland for the best striker. Now, I didn't say better. I didn't say better because the question was, is he the best? No, I say he can compete with the others. And no, when I think about Drogba, I think about Thierry Henry, I think about Gary Lineker, Alan Shearer, Jan Rush. I'm sorry, those players, you know, and at the time, I tried to explain why it was like that. Because at the time, when we were playing in the middle of the park, I was really stuck. So it was very hard to find the striker. It's why that's the big difference between nowadays and before, because it's easier to find a striker because it's really open in the middle of the park because they go with the fullbacks. So they let the middle of the park open. It was very difficult to reach the striker if the striker wasn't able to create himself the chances. It's why it's just what I was saying. And I just said again, just let me finish. I just said again that it could be a competition. Of course, Erling Haaland is a fantastic player, but there is a competition.
Just to be clear on that list, Thierry Henry is not for me a clear number 9. So that's why Thierry Henry is not on the list. Kenny Dalglish, Sir Kenny Dalglish is maybe the best players I've ever seen. I love Sir Kenny Dalglish. He's not on the list because he wasn't a typical number 9 for me. But just to finish your kind of argument, if you say that it was so and so, Erling Haaland would score exactly the same number of goals back in the 90s. That's what he would have done. He would have scored that.
We'll never know, my dear.
You can't. But
you can't. Exactly. You went into my trap.
You can't see that statement.
Can he never make your list? Even if he was to pass Alan Shearer's record, could he never make your list by
I'm not. Listen, it's very hard to do. It's very hard to explain to somebody sat in their Norwegian underpants. I mean, come on. You can't. Oh, Jesus.